How we shot a short film on 35mm celluloid, how we came up with the idea, coordinated a complex video production, ensured special costumes and locations, dealt with technical challenges, and directed a 9-year-old actor. This is how we shot on 35mm film. In the beginning of last year, I received a call from my cinematographer friend Antonia. She was in her last year of film school and she had to shoot a short film on 35mm celluloid. She asked me if I want to write and direct it. That was an offer I could not refuse. I said yes, and we began working on it.
Ia zi, Antonia, cum ne simțim cu acest film?
Coming up with the idea. Usually when I make a film, I start with the idea first and then I figure out the rest. But for this project, we had to build things backwards. The final result had to be a non-commercial project that is half narrative and half fashion film.
Ce progres am făcut noi astăzi? Am stabilit datele de filmare, detalicazare, decupaj provizoriu.
Inspired by my favorite Romanian writer, I created the story of a 9-year-old literary critic that navigates the intricate realms of literature. The actors were Maria, who is a model and teacher,
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
and her 9-year-old son, Vladimir.
Oh, e ca o lunetă?
Da, uite,
Nu
vezi?
știu să fac. De unde ai luat aparatul?
I met with them multiple times for rehearsals.
Luceafărul ar putea răspunde și el concis. Ok.
Vladimir had to record a voiceover and Maria was helping him get the words right.
Trebuie să înțelegem că un scriitor nu spune numai ce spune, spune ceva în plus.
The most time-consuming part of this production was finding the right locations. Because we were in the middle of Romanian winter, we had very little sun or nature, so we had to compensate with interesting-looking interiors. 2 days were spent on a trip to Transylvania, where we imagined some majestic shots in an old church tower.
I think this is the closest I get to Jesus. Why did we come all the way here? We imagine all of these Tarkovsky shots.
We very soon realized that bringing a whole team and expensive costumes there was not the best idea. Inspired by the scenery, we brainstormed some visuals.
Și opening shot, Maria cum iese din fântână. Pe acest băț punem un spotlight pe ea și apoi o dronă.
The first location we ensured was kindly given to us by Serin and Victor, who have the theater company Cuibul Artiștilor. We pitched a lot of places where we wanted to film.
So I'm at the moment working on a presentation for them to understand what film we're trying to achieve, so they understand how in line what we want to film is with their location.
But we got a lot of rejections.
Hello, bună ziua, Marilena.
While I was trying to secure a museum location,
Ioana!
something unexpected happened.
Vedeam pile, de exemplu, la Casa Macovei. Tu-te astăzi
Da.
și te uiți acolo și vezi spațiul dacă îți convine.
After signing lots of papers, scouting numerous potential locations, we had a final list of available places where we could film. Now, what are the actors going to wear? We enlisted the help of my very good designer friend Monica, who has the brand Throne Studio. She gave us some spectacular pieces, including the last coat that she made for me. This film is very special because it was shot on analog film. Every single video or movie that you can ever watch can be shot in 2 ways. Either digitally, which is the modern way in which everything is shot, or on celluloid, which is the old way of shooting film. The first 100 years of cinema history have been built on analog film. And even though shooting on celluloid is way more difficult, the analog film holds an undeniable magic. The look of analog film doesn't compare to what a digital camera can produce in terms of color, skin tones, and texture. And because of that, every filmmaker either aspires to or at some point actually shoots something on analog film. Usually, that is 8mm film, because this is the least expensive and the most accessible. But then there are some really cool filmmakers that shoot on 16mm film. That requires bigger budgets, the cameras are more difficult to operate, and the final image has way more information than the one of an 8mm film. And then we move into cinema territory, the filmmakers that shoot on 35mm film. And since for the past 5 years I have been carefully emulating in post-production the look of real film, now I had the chance and I was over the moon excited to shoot on real actual film. Antonia and me started preparing the gear for the shoot. It was the first time in my life and I was feeling deeply starstruck.
Wow.
The celebrity was rather old and wobbly, which made me love it even more.
Aici avem caseta Și ca să ne asigurăm că nu intră deloc lumină și pelicula este intactă, are acest cover.
I was surprised while discovering the intricacies of old technology.
Deci asta este pelicula.
O să se ducă linia în jos până ajunge la 0. Și când ajunge la 0 știi că nu mai e peliculă. Nu vedeam șarful noi. Pentru că a fost un operator foarte chior și e de fapt vizorul care are dioptria proastă.
And while I am used to my camera, which operates with a battery as small as this one,
Este o baterie cum e bateria de mașină.
that was not the case for the 35mm camera.
Gata. Și pui asta în fundul reflexului și poți să tragi.
We moved on to doing the final shot list.
Noroc.
Hai.
We wrote down for each shot the size, the action, the corresponding voiceover, and other particular details.
La final, mă gândeam ca să ia ceva foc în cadru.
We arranged the shots for every location in the order in which we could move the massive 35mm camera the least. With our pre-production completed, we moved on to the production. Our technical team consisted of Antonia, the cinematographer and producer, Betty, the assistant cinematographer, and Luca, the assistant cinematographer and gaffer. We also had Emmy, who was doing the behind-the-scenes pictures and videos.
Dacă mai vrei o cameră, pot să ți-o dau și pe asta.
Ce tare! Păi dacă ai...
I was directing, producing, getting additional shots, hairstyling, and anything else that needed to get done. The first day of the shoot started at the botanical garden with hair and makeup. We took the shots in order, following our shot list. The viewfinder was rather old and dusty and provided very little visibility. While on digital you can see at all times what you are shooting on a screen, with this camera we had to rely on hope. Since the camera was so heavy, we had to comply and only shoot static shots on a tripod. We made sure that the shots are correctly exposed using a light meter. I made sure we have some dynamic movement by taking additional shots with my digital camera. The 35mm camera was extremely heavy and very hard for only one person to hold. We needed at least 2 people at all times, one to operate the camera and one to hold the battery. Doing this from dangerous locations in order to get interesting angles didn't make things easier, but the shots we got were absolutely worth it. We moved on to the theater location. We were shooting all of the scenes with Vladimir.
Te rog să nu mă strângi pe tare că am fost un pic răcit. Aveam nevoie de o gumă orbi ca să mi se înfrumusețeze gâtul.
While Antonia, Betty, and Luca were preparing the shot, I took Vladimir to hair and makeup.
Știi care e cel mai puternic copil din clasa noastră?
Cine?
Care bate pe toți la Scandenberg, Alex Cristea.
Directing him was extremely enjoyable
Auzim pelicula și ce facem?
and challenging at the same time.
Lumina?
Da, o dată eu m-am dus la o nuntă.
Hai să ne concentrăm.
La nunta lui Ale
Vladimir,
și era mult
îmi
fum.
povestești după.
We made a great team, and even though he was full of initiative most of the time,
Da?
when we started shooting, he focused with the professionalism of a real actor. On the second day of shoot, we took all of the shots with Maria at the theater. We did hair and makeup while the team set up the shot. We squinted as much as we could through the viewfinder to ensure we like our composition. We filmed with multiple lenses, varying the shot sizes and angles. While the team was setting up the shot, me and Maria were doing movement rehearsal. For some shots, we had to coordinate some light movements that turned out beautiful. Because we were in the middle of winter, we had to warm up our actors manually. We moved on to the piano shot at Monolith Studio, my friend Katinka's place. In a break from shooting, Maria pointed out that Katinka and Antonia could be sisters. Our first big challenge was on day 3.
I'm scouting another location, but I think we're good to go here.
Nope, we were not good there. When we showed up to the location that I previously scouted,
The location we had in mind could not be used because they're organizing an event there.
we had to resort to a solution I didn't like very much.
So we had to move everything to Ateneul Român.
But we made it work and got that gorgeous final shot.
I have my light fixture.
At night, we got some digital shots in the park with an eerie yet beautiful statue. Antonia was moving the light while we were trying not to freeze to death. On day 4, we were shooting at the Museum Macovei. Vladimir was eager to help with the behind-the-scenes pictures.
Asta e și bună? Ți-am filmat fix ochiul.
The problem was that when I scouted the location, it was a sunny day. But on the day of the shoot, that was not the case. Luca resorted to bringing a strong direct light outside of the building and projecting it through the window inside of the room. In the end, because of some technical difficulties, the film needed to have a very different shape than the one we initially discussed and planned for. So from a 6-minute narrative fashion film became a 1-minute immersive visual. As we wrapped up our last day of shoot, exhaustion started to kick in. Even though we started this project not knowing each other very well, after 4 days together we felt like a united team. In the end, shooting on 35mm film was not just a technical choice. I felt connected with all of the filmmakers in cinema history that went through the process of squinting their eyes and breaking their backs while trying to get the shot. As I walked away from the set, tired but fulfilled, I couldn't help but feel a profound sense of gratitude for having been a part of something so extraordinary.